Greetings. My benefactor wishes to speak to you about a matter that could affect the fate of our world. If my benefactor wished to discuss details in the open, why send a messenger? The matter is for your ears only. My benefactor awaits nearby. Do not tarry.
Gah!
Slowly now. You've been through an ordeal. Like you, You must rescue.
Whoa there. Are you all right? The name's Lyris. I hope you've still got some fight left in you. You're going to need it. Dead. Must have been the runt of the litter. Keep your weapon ready and stay sharp. This place is full of surprises. Keep moving. There are more Daedra on the way.
Keep moving. More guards are on the way.
Hold a moment. Come here. We need to talk. This place isn't... What? The Prophet? Ha! I'm sure you do. And I'll answer... We should keep moving. Well played, friend. Our case beer, you are beating a fight.
A god of brutality knows of your escape. Hurry!
The god of schemes can see every part of Cold Harbor. We need to distract him. What was your name again? Target practice?
Fool! You will never escape my realm.
Hermamora's wagging tongue. The door's warded. We'll never get in this way. Damn it! Destroying the Sentinel. Cadwell sees things.
One fine day in the middle of...
Hello.
Best of luck. Do...
Cadwell seems to think this Undercroft is a delightful place. Probably means it's a death trap. Better be careful. The Prophet's cage should be just ahead. Quickly now, we haven't much time. All right. Good news is we made it here in one piece, and the Prophet looks unharmed. Now the bad news. It's going to be up to you to keep him safe and get him back to Tamriel. I'm not going with you. There's a trick to opening this. Believe me, once it's done, get...
I remember this feeling. It will be fleeting, though, if Molag Bal has his way. Thank the divines you are safe. Up the stairs, quickly! We must get to the anchor mooring. That is the dark anchor mooring.
The mortal thinks it can defy me. Futile. Soon your world will be in my chains.
Come, I will protect you. Dark anchor. Shard of Aetherius, fall upon us now and anoint us with your blessing. There, quickly, collect the Sky Shard. Great Akatosh, dragon god of time, I require your strength. Let the way be opened. Let these wandering souls return home. Let the will of Molag Bal be denied. Hurry! We must go now! The vestige awakens once again. Come here, we must speak. As I feared. I cannot foresee that, not yet. But you must find your own path.
warm like the desert sands.
Are you then? Tag along in my skiff if you'd like. Though I suppose it depends where you want to go.
There you are. Do not panic.
I will
Only
stay
you
close
can
to
see
you,
me.
Tamit.
Come,
I do not wish to lose my way. We move with the wind! We rise.
Fancy a life of treasure hunting? Cyrodiilic Collections needs you.
Fewer people staring at me than I anticipated. What a strange time you live in. I think I read about this place in a book from my time. It is quite different from what I recall. Perhaps I misremember. Pay me no mind.
The anchorite. You're as bothersome as that damn Dremora. No matter. The votive rune is placed, and now you die.
You brought this on yourself, Dagonist. Hey you, with the glowing hands. We have something in common. If you're not a cultist, we should talk. Damn these Waking Flame cultists. Bringing their Mehrunes Dagon madness to Fargrave. Their votive runes infect mortals with dark magic. I came to meet someone about all this when I spotted that cultist and my hands began to glow. Just like yours. This is Fargrave, a city in Oblivion with permanent and open connections to other realms. The cultists place those votive runes faster than I can destroy them, putting every mortal who lives here at risk. That's why I agreed to meet with the Dremora. Lyrinth, the Dremora. She sent me a letter. Said the cult threatened Fargrave. Nern, too. She wanted my help, but I can't deal with that now. The votive runes are clearly the immediate danger. We should work together on this. I can pay. I need you to talk to my contacts. Madam Wim's establishment is here in the city. Initiate Teal'co meets me in the burn, out in the Deadlands. See what they know about the votive runes and the cult's plans. Then meet me in the Fargrave Crafting Plaza. Madam Wim is a dark seducer who has her thumb on the pulse of Fargrave. Nothing happens here that she isn't keenly aware of. She deals in favors and information, for a price. And the more you seek her help, the more expensive her services become. Initiate Teal'co is a member of the Order of the Waking Flame. He was my friend before the cult recruited him. Turns out, Teal'co's had a change of heart. He's been providing me with inside information about where the cult plans to strike next. Madam Wim runs an establishment in Fargrave called the House of Wims. Just be careful. She enjoys getting her hooks in new arrivals. You'll find Initiate Teal'co in the Deadlands, an area known as the Burn. The Plaza of Portals will take you there. The Plaza of Portals is one of Fargrave's most important locations. A series of permanent gateways to other realms in Oblivion. One of those realms is the Deadlands, the domain of Mehrunes Dagon. Not a lot. She's apparently a Dremora, and she's interested in the activities of the Dagon cult known as the Order of the Waking Flame. This is where we were supposed to meet, but all I saw was that cultist and the votive rune he was casting. No. The votives mess with mortal emotions, make everything more intense. Not sure why. Lyrinth said the magic in her letter would allow her to recognize me. I think that's what the glow was. If only I could get the Grasp to care about all this. The Grasp of the Stricture. They're an order of Daedra, mostly Dremora, who serve as arbiters and interpreters of the Stricture. A magical covenant that allows Fargrave to serve as neutral ground for all Daedra. They enforce the laws, to a point. Well, since mortals aren't bound to the Stricture, the Grasp pretty much ignores us, unless we interfere with the Stricture in some way. As long as the cult and its votive runes only threaten mortals, the Grasp simply doesn't care. The glow seems to have faded, for now.
Why won't you all just leave me alone?
Something terrible's about to happen. I just know it.
All of you, stay away from me! Stay away!
Another poor mortal succumbed to the power of the Dagonic votives. How unfortunate. But what's this? A new face? And what does Madame Whim always say? New faces bring new opportunities. Let's talk. Has anyone ever told you that you have an incomparable mien? Most in this celestial palanquin we call Fargrave have the barest patina on their auras. But you, I know multiple buyers who would pay top price for a soul like yours. Shall we trade? What? Poor Josette? She's one of my favorite regulars. At least she was, before the votives affected her. First, she became belligerent, then extremely melancholy. Now she's practically mindless. But tell me, darling, what brings you to Madame Whim's? She did she? All true, but I hate to brag. She's an unusual mortal, though, isn't she? Our darling of the alleys. And clever. She sent you so as not to increase her tab at the House of Whims. As a new customer, your first transaction is free. Ah, two topics on the lips of many a Fargravian. The Dagonists are mortal rabble with a fetish for destruction. The votive runes are prayers to their prince made manifest. Spells that seem to affect only mortals, like poor Josette here. An interesting question. Alas, I have no answer. But you're not the only newcomer to our fair city seeking such knowledge. My eyes about town tell me that Lyranth the Dromora has come to Fargrave. She's in the shambles, searching for Sister Seldina. You want more? I'm giving away an awful lot as part of your free sample, but I am feeling generous today. Sister Seldina leads the Dagonists here in Fargrave. She and Lyranth seem to have it out for one another, though I have yet to ascertain why. As the name implies, I trade in eccentricities and capriciousness. I buy and sell as impulse dictates. My establishment carries indulgences from across Oblivion. And information, of course, along with food, drinks, and an amenity for every appetite. Oh, the mortal on the floor? No, I don't believe so. The spell is quite potent. I suspect the votive runes have a darker purpose than simply elevating emotions and turning mortals into mindless husks. Pity the grasp refuses to investigate. The grasp of the stricture. They enforce law and order in Fargrave. The stricture is a covenant that binds all Daedra and allows us to operate somewhat in concert. Since mortals aren't bound by the covenant, the grasp tends to pay them no mind. An apt description, if somewhat inaccurate. They do enforce Fargrave's laws, but in ways that won't always be comprehensible to the limits of mortal understanding. Try not to commit any crimes in front of them, and they won't harass you. Probably. You came here without knowing, darling. How refreshing. Like an otherworldly conveyance, Fargrave personifies the existential concepts of transit or passage. It did start out as a strange nomadic realm, after all. That's part of the city's allure. It means if you want to travel the myriad corridors of Oblivion, there's no better launching point than fabulous Fargrave. In addition to our famous Plaza of Portals, the entire realm is littered with dimensional access ways. Plus, we have no prince. Without a prince to set the laws and manipulate Fargrave's reality, we're free to shape this city as we choose. The freedom that affords us is sublime. Plus, no prince means less chaos and violence in the streets, rogue cultists notwithstanding. Aren't they beautiful? One of our best features. No one is quite sure who or what they were, but legend has it they once carried the city from plane to plane, hence the allusion to a palanquin. Is it true? Well, the skeletons are real enough. A personal query? That will cost extra, my darling. I am a Mezkin, what your kind commonly call a dark seducer. Unlike many of my brothers and sisters, I use my charms to beguile and entice for knowledge and profit. I have no interest in violence. A terrible place. I urge caution if you decide to venture there. It's a warren of alleys, tenements, and ruins, hidden behind thick walls. Many mortals live there in the most appalling conditions, but it can also be a good place to conduct business. Oh, innocent mortal. The kind of business best engaged in, where the grasp of the stricture doesn't reach. It's a perfect location to hide a Dagonist cult, seeking to cause chaos and mayhem. I'm surprised our Darling of the Alleys didn't mention that. Darling of the Alleys, Fool of Fargrave, Woman in the Mask. Ever since the anchorite arrived in Fargrave, she's gone out of her way to help the mortals cast upon our shore, and she asks for nothing in return. Pity I know so little else about her. Now, what should we do with Josette? Hmm?
All of you, stay away from me! Stay away!
You're not the person I was supposed to meet. What do you want? Explain yourself, stranger. The Deadlands isn't a place for chance encounters. The Anchorite promises to get me away from the cult in exchange for information. I hold up my end of the bargain, and what do I get? Another fool seeking knowledge from Portilgo. This is the last time, you hear? Make sure the Anchorite knows that. They don't tell lowly initiates all the details of their master plan, but I hear things. Sister Seldina wants to take over Fargrave, make it an offering to Mehrunes Dagon. The votive runes play a part in that, but I don't know exactly how. Sister Seldina leads the Fargrave cell. She has a grand vision for the Waking Flame. It starts with Fargrave, but it doesn't end there. She wants control of the portals. With them, she can hand Lord Dagon all of Oblivion. Even Nirn would be in reach. The Dremora? She's practically all the Order's old guard talk about these days. Seems she's been causing a lot of trouble for Sister Seldina, interfering with her plans. Something's about to happen. Tell the Anchorite. Fargrave's in danger. The Order has camps throughout Fargrave and the Deadlands. Sister Seldina could be anywhere. But tell the Anchorite to check the shambles. Look for an abandoned building, someplace hot. I heard one of the Devastators complaining about the heat. If we were talking about the Deadlands, no. But the shambles is a different story. That section of Fargrave can't have too many places hot enough to make a Devastator uncomfortable. The Anchorite will figure it out. What? You assume every Dagonist is a true believer, willing to do whatever their superiors tell them? I joined up because they promised me a better life. A way to escape the shambles. But they lied. The Anchorite agreed to help me, for a price. If Sister Seldina knew I was talking to you or the Anchorite, my life wouldn't be worth a scab on an Ogrim's elbow. I want out! Look, tell the Anchorite. She can find me at the Bearer's Rest in Fargrave when she's really ready to help an old friend. Tell the Anchorite I'll be at the Bearer's Rest. She owes me, and I expect her to honor our agreement.
people staring at me than I anticipated. What a strange time you live in.
All of you, stay away from me! Stay away!
Disaster is coming! Fargrave is doomed!
There's no point. No point at all.
Over here, friend.
Lord Dagon will visit disaster upon this ash heap. Mark my words.
These new Dagonists are barely worth the effort. I followed them into the plaza and destroyed the votive rune before they even noticed I was there. And the Grasp decided to get involved, finally. Hey, did you learn anything from my contacts? Madam Wim didn't charge you, I hope. She usually lets you sample her wares for free the first time. After that, it gets expensive. The Shambles is a big place, but now we know more than we did when we started. Did you also make contact with Teal'co? Hot? In the Shambles? Must be the old baths. The furnaces beneath the bathhouse have been burning forever. But what was that about the votive runes? How does Sister Seldina plan to use them to conquer Fargrave? Damn it! No one is going to conquer Fargrave if I have any say in the matter. I suppose we need to investigate the old bathhouse. If we find Sister Seldina, maybe we'll find Lyrinth too. Let's meet in the Shambles. We can discuss our options there. Once we enter the Shambles, we can work our way together to the old bathhouse. The Shambles can be a dangerous place, but it's also where the majority of Fargrave's mortals live. Warrens and dark alleys fill the area. There are 3 main paths through the Shambles. We can take any of them to reach the bathhouse. Just that it's mostly abandoned, hasn't been used by anyone but squatters and vagrants for years. It's isolated at the northern end of the Shambles, easy to secure and unbearably hot. The perfect location for the Dagonist leaders to plot and scheme. And I said I'd tell you, once I was sure I could trust you. Let's find out what's waiting for us at the bathhouse. Try to make contact with Lyrinth for Dremora. After that, we'll see.
Move, mortal flea! You will see. Lord Dagon will devour you and your city.
Be silent. Your prince has no power here.
Shambles. Not a place for a casual stroll. Let's go check out the old bathhouse. Choose a direction. East through Skane Road, through the Western Warrens, or directly north through the Central Tower.
To arms, Tully. Rest now.
East through Skane Row, is it? Be wary of the Spiderkith. They consider any mortals who enter their territory to be prey.
Georgette, you are stronger every moment. Fight! Move! Far, far, far. You will not last.
Advance! Move! Now!
Cover your magic! Watch yourself.
That's the bathhouse up ahead. Let's see if the door is locked. That door should take us into the bathhouse, if we can open it. Magic. Damn. If the main door is sealed, let's see if we can get in through the courtyard. That door leads to the courtyard and isn't warded. Can you pick the lock? That opening in the wall. Maybe we can reach the caves below and get into the bathhouse from there. We should be able to find a way inside through the undercroft. It runs beneath the bathhouse. Another ward. I think we can get past this one, though. I have an idea. Unlike the door outside, this area contains everything we need to disrupt the magic sustaining the ward and dispel it. I've seen the Daedra use these crystals to do all sorts of things. I spotted a lucent among the debris in this hall. It's a Daedric crystal that can absorb and store the background energy that pulses through all the realms of Oblivion. We'll need that to get started. Then take the lucent to the Dynamis font over there. That background energy I mentioned, the font absorbs it. Place the lucent on the font, and it will fill it with the charged energy. Finally, insert the charged lucent into the discharge labrum beside the door. That will release the energy from the crystal and disrupt the ward. That's the idea, anyway. I've seen the Daedra do all sorts of things using lucents, fonts, and labrums. Remember, find a lucent, charge it in the Dynamis font, then place the charged crystal in the labrum beside the door. Once you understand how lucents function, you can use them to accomplish all sorts of things throughout the realms of Oblivion. As I understand it, lucents form naturally in the void and occasionally rain down on the various realms. Some say they're actually crystallized bits of Oblivion. Who knows? I've seen Daedra gather them, charge them, and make use of their energy. Well, as long as you have lucents, a Dynamis font, and a discharge labrum, you can use the energy to open gates, ignite furnaces, operate torture devices, all sorts of things. We're going to use it to overcharge the ward on that door and dispel it. Look, I just observed how the Daedra use them. The Dynamis font is sort of like a spring. Instead of water, energy wells up. Could be an atronach trapped in there. Or maybe it's the ambient dynamism that flows through the space between the realms. I'm not a Daedric scholar, alright? I just know what I know. Dynamism. I heard the Dremora talking about it at Madame Wim's. It's what some call the energy of oblivion. Or the energy in oblivion? It's confusing, but it's energy that we can use. Basically, when you plug a charged lucent into the labrum, it releases the energy stored in the crystal. Most of the labrums I've seen are integrated into some larger mechanism. I'm not sure what this one was originally used for. You could, but you'd also get a destructive explosion. Better to control the release by using the labrum. Besides, the lucents can be used over and over again, but not if you shatter them. That's definitely a lucent. There is copper. Now take the lucent to the dynamis font. Place the lucent in the dynamis font, and it should fill it with energy. That did it. Look how the crystal crackles with energy. Insert the charged crystal into the labrum and step away. You don't want to get scorched. It worked! And now you know how to use a charged lucent. Let's see what's behind that door. All right, let's see where this door takes us.
I see my spell brought the help I requested, but I didn't expect there to be more than one of you. Who knew that a simple spell would take so long to yield results? Or that my request for mortal help would deposit multiple options at my feet? But the brand is unmistakable. That glow certainly contains my arcane indicators. Who are you, mortals? The Anchorite? An unusual appellation, even for a mortal. As for my absence, I heard a cultist mention that Sister Saldina had arrived at their headquarters in the Shambles. I could not let the opportunity to catch up with her slip away. My reasons are my own, little mortal. Suffice it to say that Sister Saldina commands an Order of the Waking Flame sect intent on seizing control of Fargrave. I want to determine how they plan to accomplish that. Interesting. I noticed the Daegonic prayers and the effects they were having on mortals, but I still don't know their ultimate purpose. What I do know is that Sister Saldina plans to conquer Fargrave and use its many portals as a gateway to Nirn. Even a Dremora of my talents cannot hope to stand alone against the Daegonists and an army of living disasters. I seek to learn Sister Saldina's secrets. You want to protect the mortal realm from total destruction. Together, we can accomplish both. She's smart and ruthless. A powerful combination in a mortal. She commands the Daegonists here in Fargrave and oversaw the creation of the Cataclysm. With that device, she plans to create an army of living disasters to unleash upon Nirn. Daedra empowered to unleash destruction upon the mortal realm and make it easier for Mehrunes Dagon to conquer Nirn. Did you know he's tried before? Dagon broke an agreement, and the doors between the Deadlands and Nirn were sealed. He can't use them. Sotha Seal, one of the so-called living gods of the Dark Elves, supposedly made a pact with various Daedric princes to protect Nirn. I don't know the details, but Dagon broke the pact. Sotha Seal slammed the doors and closed off Dagon's connections. Everything about Sotha Seal's pact is rumor and speculation, so that is what I hope to determine. And I want to examine the Cataclysm. The attack on Fargrave could begin at any moment. Shall we enter the next area and see what Saldina is up to?
The glow. It vanished again.
The spell has run its course. The glow will not return. Now, to deal with this ward. Come, I sense activity in the chamber beyond.
The Dremora again. Well, you're too late. The ritual is almost complete. Dagon's blessing reverberates among the votive runes. Soon a wave of destruction will sweep over Fargrave and destroy the Daedra.
So, what's happening to us? Mortal, destroy the votive runes.
May your bow...
Stop! The ritual must destroy the Daedra. My plan depends upon it.
Be a lesson.
For that, Dremora. You and your companions both.
Sister Saldina got away, and we're right back where we started. Nowhere.
Nowhere? How quickly mortals succumb to despair. Let's talk in the next room. Take a moment to look around. Sister Saldina departed in haste. Certainly she left something behind. I did not think Sister Saldina capable of performing such a powerful ritual. You did well, mortal. A few more moments and the magic would have exploded across Fargrave, leaving the city defenseless and destroying all of the Daedra, including me. Yes, but she fled in haste. That means she probably left something behind. Let's search this bathhouse. Bring me whatever you find. Sister Saldina's abandoned paraphernalia may be of use to me, and it may tell you more about the threat to Nirn. From what I could devise, the votives elevated the emotions of mortals in the city, siphoning the energy generated into Sister Saldina's ritual. She planned to use that energy to destroy the Daedra, including the Grasp, leaving the city defenseless. That would accomplish nothing. The Daegonists are experts when it comes to disappearing into the shadows. Sister Saldina will pay for her various insults soon enough. For now, see what she left behind when she fled. What did you find, little mortal? Tell me what you found, and I shall determine if it has any significance to my quest, or to yours. Nor can I. And while your literacy may be in question, mine certainly is not. This is no language, mortal or Daedric. It is written in code, one used by the Daegonists for their more guarded correspondence. No, and neither could any lowly recruit we captured off the streets and tortured for information. This code is reserved for the Order's elite. We'll need to find someone who can decipher it. I'm sure Fargrave must have someone with those skills. We should leave. The cult's forces may have scattered, but no doubt Sister Saldina will send a force to try to deal with us. We should not be here when they arrive. Perhaps the Anchorite can suggest a place for us to meet up, safe from prying eyes. What I seek still eludes my grasp, so our business is not yet concluded. You ought to be grateful. I can be a powerful ally, when the mood strikes me. I will meet you back in Fargrave. I'm sure the Anchorite knows someone who can decipher the code.
Let's meet at the inn in Fargrave. Bearer's Rest. We can talk privately there.
I am listening.
You there. The Grasp requests your aid. Mortal, you seem more capable than most. The Grasp of the Stricture has a task that you may be able to assist with. The apprehension of mortal criminals. I understand your kind enjoys material gain. I can pay you for your help. A band of mortal thieves tried to steal a large quantity of the drug known as Red Maiden. When I attempted to apprehend them, they ran to the Plaza of Portals and fled into the Sever. You must search the Sever for these criminals and bring them back to me. Their leader's name is Buck. He went through the portal last, and therefore should be easy to find. He is a cunning mortal, but he and the others cannot have gotten far. Return the criminals to Fargrave once you have apprehended them. I will take care of things from there. I request that you proceed with haste. If their trail is lost, it will be difficult to pick it up once more. I find it hard to believe a mortal such as yourself is ignorant of such a substance. Your kind are always scrabbling for it. Red Maiden is a drug. When regularly ingested, it can anchor a mortal to Fargrave just as a pact with a Daedra would do. To prevent a sickness called the Drain, your mortal minds are not meant for the complexities of Fargrave. Occasionally, mortals experience decay. Some become violent, others begin to drool. Ultimately, they will succumb to it and die. Red Maiden is a rare commodity and difficult to produce. Mortals would tear each other apart for it if it was not strictly regulated. Not every mortal contracts the Drain, but many fear the very possibility and will do anything to acquire the drug. A foolish group of mortals, nothing more. They have been in Fargrave for a few years, always skirting the lines of the stricture and eluding the grasp. They are close friends and look out for one another. It makes them difficult to rein in. No, they have never been so bold before. Perhaps they grew bored of petty theft and being a nuisance. I could not say. Many of their transgressions have been too small for the grasp to interfere. Not this one. Indeed, they will find it much less forgiving than Fargrave. If they manage to survive the lightning and the tearing winds, they will need to contend with the wildlife. The Sever is not a gentle place. Be cautious when you venture there. The grasp interprets the stricture, that which binds all Daedra and Fargrave. It keeps order by effectively turning the city into neutral ground. We are the law, to put it in your terms. We make sure citizens adhere to the strictures. Our influence does not extend beyond the dunes of Fargrave. The strictures are not concerned with the domain of the Prince of Destruction. They are now beyond my reach, but not yours.
I hope you're not the sort to interrupt those busier than you for no reason. Well, I don't have much time. Out with it. I am not shocked by this news. Mortals do not always know when to back away. This makes them exceptional employees, but does decrease their already limited longevity. You said you have the gem he was sent to retrieve? That's the trouble with mortals. Many don't have the experience to survive on the plains. Here, someone should have the gold that was set aside for Rob here. I employed a few prospective creatures to retrieve more of these plain stones, but given how you discovered the last creature I sent, I do not have high hopes. If you come across more ill-fated employees, please bring the plain stones to me. I am under no obligation to explain that to you. We have no dealings, no contract or agreements. The only thing that ties us is that you returned what was lost. You are an admirable mortal. Do not misunderstand me. But Madam Wynne cannot favor you. Madam Wynne provides a service where she offers solutions to the problems of others. I would give specifics, but that is against our confidentiality agreement. All you need to know is that the service she performs for Fargrave is legendary. I am one of her assistants. Hezek is another. We handle clients with less complicated problems, so that she can focus her attention on more prestigious or troubling cases. I suspected that might be the case. I have yet to meet a mortal who could curb their inquisitive nature. I have no delusions about anyone's chances of survival out in the Deadlands, mortal or otherwise. Madam Wim only pays individuals for completed deliveries. There was no harm in letting a mortal attempt it. I sent many individuals after many Plainstones. I would have been foolish not to. The Deadlands are not civilized, for lack of a more accurate description. Even Daedra do not make it out of that realm intact.
running. What do you want? And better yet, what are you doing all the way out here? If you don't mind, I'm actually running for my life at the moment. So if you could let me get back to that, I'd appreciate it. What? The Dremora actually asked for help? Bah! I'll never understand the grasp. All right, before you do anything hasty, at least let me explain. This is a big misunderstanding. Or I guess it's not. Well, we've got a good reason, I swear. Hold on, it's not safe here. Please, find my two friends and send them to the portal to Fargrave. It's where we plan to meet if we got separated. Once we're together, I'll tell you the whole story. You can decide what to do with us from there. Many thanks. Their names are Eliza and Minwaleth. We all split up once we got here, but they shouldn't be far. I'll head to the portal now. I promise I'll explain everything once those two are safe.
die in this place. Stay back. Please, don't come any closer. I don't have the strength to fight you or any money to give you, but please, I beg you to look the other way. Let me go. You saw Bach? Is he safe? He must be if he told you to come find me. I'm not sure why you're helping us, but I don't care. Thank you, stranger. What about Minwaleth? Please tell me this wasteland hasn't taken her. Oh, gods, no. This is all my fault. She only went along with the plan for my sake. I got the drain and now she's dead because of it. She lost her life trying to save mine. It's not fair. I need to see Puck. Please, where is he? Then I'll make my way there. Thank you, stranger. You can't know what this means to me.
I'm sorry, Eliza. I should have been more careful.
Don't. This is my fault. If it wasn't for me, we wouldn't be in this mess. This is all my fault. Why did I have to be so weak? Why did I have to be the one to get the drain? There's no point in running. It's all futile. I can feel myself slipping away. Maybe I should just accept it. This damn sickness. It's different for everyone. Some people get by for years with just headaches. For others, it takes them in a few days. I keep forgetting things. Sometimes I wake up, and I don't even know my own name. It's getting worse. The Red Maiden we stole, it would have given me time, at least. Locke insisted we had to get our hands on some when we found out I was sick, but we didn't think we'd get caught. Minwilleth had it when we came here. God knows where it is now. There wasn't time while we were in Fargrave. Everything happened so fast. We agreed Minwilleth would hold it, and as soon as we were safe, we'd meet up again and I'd take it then. But nothing worked out like we planned. What? Really? I don't know what to say. I could kiss you or cry or scream. But I'll save us both the trouble and just say thank you. You've given me a fighting chance. All of this won't have been in vain. Thank you, friend.
I won't lie, I thought you'd turn right back around to Fargrave and give us up to the grasp. Thanks for coming to hear us out. I'm glad Eliza's here, but what about Minwilleth? Did you find her? Damn. I feared as much. I should have been more careful. The three of us have been stealing things since we were young, and we always managed to come out on the other side just fine. But I was just so scared for Eliza, I wasn't thinking straight. Exactly. And we ran here to escape punishment, but punishment is all we found in this wasteland. If we stay out here, we'll end up like Minwilleth. But if we go back, it's whatever the Grasp considers justice. And for Eliza, the drain. I guess that's up to you, isn't it? You hold our fate in your hands. You're decent enough to hear us out. So we'll comply with whatever you decide. Besides, it's my decisions that got us all into this mess. I shouldn't be making any more.
Locke, are you sure? What if I get worse?
We'll be able to find a way to get you more Red Maiden if we're free. Come on. Thank you, friend.
Tribunal, my grandmother, and the hero of Mournhold are counting on me. So why am I pacing out here like a flathead? You're a swit, Selveni. You just have to power magic rocks made by a living god, find some spirits, free them, oh, and leave the Force Martyr's Folly without dying painfully. It'll be fun. Yes. I do that. I wasn't expecting anyone. Oh. Lord Sothasil. I'm doing what the Tribunal asked. I have the 3 Mother Stones, and I know where the energy fonts are. I'll free the spirits from the Force Martyr's Folly, I swear. No? Oh, you're in disguise. I'm glad you're here. Saving Ordinator Nilera and Grandmother Priest Sovisa's spirits from Mehrunes Dagon? I can't do that alone. But I can give you tribute. Payment? For the help of an adventurer? Thank the 3. I have the Mother Stones I got from Amalexia's priest, though we do still need to attune them with the energy fonts inside. But, with your help, we'll free Nilera and Sovisa's spirits in no time. Now, to enter the Folly. Is this a test? Are you checking if I know who I'll use the Mother Stones on? They both died years ago. They protected the temple from Mehrunes Dagon when he decimated Mournhold. I was there, hiding under a table. That was a day I won't forget. The decimation of Mournhold? In 2920? The end of the First Era? My lord, is there something terribly wrong with you? You were there. How could you forget? 600? No, this is a test. Almalexia's priest gave me the Mother Stones only a few weeks ago. I know how long I've been standing outside the Folly. Mehrunes Dagon's realm can't hold me captive, not like the spirits I need to save. You might have missed the explanation. You are busy. I got the Mother Stones from a priest of Amalexia. She said that the Lady of Mercy created them. Once we attune them to the energy of the Sever, these stones will take her children home. They won't work properly unless they're attuned. Right now, the stones couldn't return me to Morrowind. They need a lot of power to save Ordinator Nilera and Grandmother Sovisa. I mean, they're both dead, and they've been trapped here for years. I asked about that in Wretched Spire. There are these energy fonts that should be just the things we need. No one in Wretched Spire could really tell me where the fonts were, but given their name, I think they won't be too hard to find. Well, have you looked into the Folly? Lightning strikes happen all the time. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've always seen lightning strike the most in areas of high energy. If we follow the storms, we should find the fonts. I hope. They were both incredible women, heroes in their own right, who stood in the face of a great threat. I really look up to them both. I mean, one is possibly the greatest Ordinator to ever serve the Tribunal, and the other is my grandmother. She was protecting the temple from Mehrunes Dagon's attack a few years ago. I remember hearing her call him a Sar Shaman Fetcher. It was the most heroic thing I've ever heard. I cried when her screams stopped. They're the guards of the Tribunal temples, warriors who serve the living gods and protect their houses throughout Morrowind. I wanted to be one, like Ordinator Nilera was, but I'm not a fighter. I've seen my life's share of blood. We were visiting her at the temple on the day of the attack a few years ago. When Nilera died, Sovisa rushed outside to take up her sword. She wasn't a warrior, but she managed to keep the Horde from reaching the doors. I never got to say goodbye. Maybe to gloat over them or use them as a warning to others. I'm not sure which. Either way, an entire garden filled with living statues of people I knew makes my skin crawl. All I know is that most of the statues here are from the time when Dagon attacked Mournhold. They're just on display here. The Fallen. On display for all Daedra to see. Oh, I might lose my nerve again. energy font, where would you be? Northwest? There are a lot of storms there.
Jet, you are stronger every moment.
The air changed. Like the storm is about to get worse. We're close.
Evil never sleeps of its own accord.
That was a marvelous display of power, Sotha-Seal. Only 2 more stones to attune. One energy font left to find.
Watch yourself!
I don't want to tell you what to do, but please be careful with those stones. They look erratic. You may be the magician, but for someone like me, holding on to erratic power seems unwise. Next, we need to... think, Sylvanie, think. We need to find the statues. There should be an altar in here that's used to locate statues in the folly. I, kind of had to figure that out on my own since an acolyte of Lord Vivek was called away before he could tell me. But I ran into someone familiar with this area in Wretched Spire. The altar is farther in the folly, in a Daedric building.
had to. Another fight? Dagna exa vija.
The altar. Place the mother stones there, and we'll be able to locate the statues. Somehow. Now we have to praise Mehrunes Dagon? I should probably do that. Spare you the embarrassment. Lord Dagon, help us find Nilera and Sovisa so that we can do evil. Ah! The stone! I don't know what went wrong. I started praying to Mehrunes Dagon and then the tribunal, you, my family. Shame to everyone. We only have 2 stones now. We need 3. Don't know. We put the stones on the altar, and then I prayed, and a stone just exploded. Is Almalexia's power not compatible with the altar? Did Dagon figure out I'm not an evil cultist? Am I terrible at praying? Oh, yes. Here, let me mark the location for you. I may have obliterated one of the stones, but at least we have the information we need. Originally, there were 3 stones. 1 to free Ordinator Nilera, 1 to free Grandmother Sovisa, and the last one was supposed to take me back to Mournhold. Without that 3rd stone, someone has to stay here. Sovisa, Nilera, or me. Ordinator Nilera was the glaive of the tribunal. And after Mehrunes Dagon's attack, well, I don't know anyone who'd say she wasn't the greatest Ordinator ever. Freeing her spirit from this place would bring peace to many. Sovisa was my grandmother. She was kind and smart, the sort of person who always pushed you toward compassion. She was a priest at the temple, not a warrior. But she saved so many from Mehrunes Dagon's horde when they attacked Mournhold. I can't believe it. Is that what the tribunal wants from me? Maybe it's better than letting 2 spirits stay in eternal agony, but... So, Thecile, I don't know if I can do that. Not even for Ordinator Nilera and Grandmother Sovisa. Right? Would you grab the mother stones? I don't think I should touch them anymore. Right. I have some control over my emotions. Let's get moving. I'd recognize their faces anywhere. Sotha Seal, may I have a word? Well, here we are. Can't put it off any longer. Time to make the difficult decision. Gods, I can't really damn myself to save them, can I? But then, how can I leave one of them here? Or we could free both, but then I'd be trapped. Oh, if I was better at magic, or even understood what Almalexia's mother's stones did, then... But no. There is no way to free both spirits and ensure my escape. I'm a failure. They'd leave their tortured undeath at the hands of the Prince of Chaos. But I'd be stuck here, alone. Still, I guess the spirits would be free, and I'd have done my duty to them and the Tribunal. Is that what you want me to do? How can I decide who should be free? The woman who died after a lifetime of service to the Tribunal, or the one who knew she would die but still did what was right? Nilera or my grandmother? Sotha Seal, free the spirit you choose. I won't stop you. She was a priest at the temple. When Ordinator Nilera died fighting Mehrunes Dagon, she rushed outside and picked up Nilera's sword. She wasn't very good at fighting, but she managed to hold the Horde back until you and Almalexia arrived. My family would shun me. My ancestors would desert me. And not just Grandmother Savisa. All of them could leave me. That may not seem like much, but being out of favor with your own ancestors? I could lose everything. Ordinator Nilera, she defended the temple in Mournhold when Mehrunes Dagon attacked the city. I remember hearing the sounds of her battle. Many in Mournhold revere her as the greatest Ordinator to ever serve the Tribunal. Oh, yes. I was hiding in the temple while Mournhold burned. Ordinator Nilera was standing on the steps outside with her shoulders back and her head held high. It was a striking sight for the short time I saw it. Didn't you hear me? Everyone thinks Ordinator Nilera was the greatest Ordinator to ever live. Not saving her? I'd fail in my mission. You, the other members of the Tribunal, would despise me. Everyone in Mournhold would shun me. It would be awful.
Seltheli, you've grown so
leave her.
much. You've done your duty by me, as I did mine by you.
She looked peaceful. I think we did the right thing. Our work is done here. Let's leave before something horrible happens. I'll meet you outside. grandmother. I'd forgotten what she looked like. She sounded so peaceful. Thank you. An inexperienced adventurer managed to free his grandmother's spirit from the heart of Dagon's realm? So, Thecile, it's only through your power that I'm even alive. Here, a small sample of the gifts I'll give to the temple as soon as I return. I can't wait to return home. Adventures are great and all, but I don't think I want to go on another anytime soon. It will be nice to see my family and tell them about Savisa. I'm sure they'd help me think of ways to free Ordinate and Ilera, too. I'll make my way back to Mournhold. I'll only tell everyone as much as you want me to, of course. So, Thecile, I'm honestly still a little scared about how things turned out here. But I know I can push through that, thanks to you. I'm not the brave one in my family, I'm not even competent, and I'll likely have to adventure again. But I'm going to devote myself to figuring out how to save her. It'll be hard, maybe even impossible, but I have to try, right? Vec, yes. I don't want to be here any longer than I have to. Did you see that six-legged creature back there? That thing was terrifying. I am leaving this realm as soon as I can.
I don't know whether your return here is a sign of good news or bad. Did you find another ill-fated entity under contract with me? Telofasa is dead? Again? Ugh, Zafa. It's been less than a century since the last time she died. With a short span like that, it will be hard to hire her again. You said you found her in the false martyr's folly? Predictable. She always makes things harder for herself. Still, she managed to find it. Perhaps she does display some aptitude. I may hire her again when she reforms. Mortal, take this as payment for your efforts, and go with Madame Weem's gratitude. I employed a few prospective creatures to retrieve more of these plain stones, but given how you discovered the last creature I found, I do not have high hopes. If you come across more ill-fated employees, please bring the plain stones to me.
Mortal, you return, but I do not see my quarry with you. Explain. Without the stolen item, no restitution can be made. Without the thieves, I cannot render judgment. The limits of mortals are exhausting, but I will assume you at least made an effort. Here, your reward, as the stricture defines it.
You there, come speak with me. And as if by fate, a solution presents itself. Greetings. I am Devaith Fear, Wizard Lord of Telfear. I find myself in need of a partner. You seem well equipped for the role. The position is yours, if you wish. I recently discovered that someone intends to auction off Mafala's chief artifact, the Ebony Blade. I hardly thought such a thing possible, but I leave nothing to chance. As soon as I began making inquiries, House Hexos cancelled the auction. I am the foremost authority on Daedric artifacts and the greatest mage of our era. So yes, I am quite confident they're trying to hide the weapon from me. A fool's errand. If you choose to assist me in finding the blade, I will pay you handsomely. Our first order of business is investigating the auction house. It's just there, near the Nereid's fountain. Gather testimony, correspondence, anything you can. When you've discovered enough, meet me in the market near the Shamble's north entrance. It is an artifact of the dread teacher Mafala. At first glance, it resembles a katana carved from obsidian, but I assure you, it is far more than a simple sword.
It is the lady's malice in physical form, a life-devouring instrument of murder. Do I detect some suspicion in your voice? If we recover the ebony blade, I will do what I do with all the dangerous relics I acquire. Keep it safe. I assure you, there is no one better equipped to safeguard a terror like this. I assume you're being glib. As I said before, I am Devaith Fear, House Telvanni's most eminent scholar and Tamriel's most powerful mage. I cannot fault your ignorance. I've not been home in some time. My work keeps me in oblivion more often than not. I am an explorer, not in the conventional sense, of course. I do not seek unknown shores. I seek knowledge, or the means to acquire it. That often means coming here, to Fargrave. Truthfully, I'd compare Fargrave to an anthill built atop a silver mine. Hordes of small-minded beings frittering about with no understanding of their property's value. It would be amusing if it wasn't so sad. It is an artifact of the dread teacher, Mephala. At first glance, it resembles a katana carved from obsidian. But I assure you, it is far more than a simple sword. It is the lady's malice in physical form, a life-devouring instrument of murder.
So many new faces in Fargrave. If you need work and can handle a weapon, we should talk. As a representative of House Hexos, I assure you that this is all above board. Oh, I don't handle jobs. Think of me more as a scout for the organizations in the city who hire adventurers. Speak to Luna Burial or Vavelli Indivel. They hire mortals and Daedra for dangerous jobs on a daily basis. You're a wary one. I consider that a mark in your favor, considering some of the characters I've seen pass through Fargrave's many portals. All right. What do you want to know? Luna Burial represents the Gleaners, a group of... how do I put this? They're thieves. Oh, not the kind that robs from Fargrave. No, they retrieve items from elsewhere for interested parties in the city. They hire lone adventurers to help with that. Vavelli Indivel represents the Sarathu Tong, a syndicate of outcast mages who control a lot of trade in the city. Between their business dealings and research projects, they require groups to take on jobs too dangerous for single adventurers. Well, if you want to work alone, see Luna Burial. Vavelli Indivel of the Sarathu Tong also provides jobs, but they're dangerous. You'll want a group to deal with them. Here. Consider this an investment into your adventuring career. Luna Burial has jobs that you can handle on your own, and Vavelli Indivel trades in tasks that require groups of adventurers. Regardless of which job you take, I guarantee you'll be paid well for your work. That's a House Hexos promise. Yes, I'm a member of House Hexos. Since you made it to Fargrave, I'll let you in on a little secret. My house gave up its claims in Tamriel centuries ago for a lucrative position in the Celestial Palanquin. But even I'm not privy to all our secrets. Well, you don't get to be the foremost mortal family in a multi-dimensional Daedric city without being betrayed a few times over the centuries. We thrive because my ancestors were cautious, and that's still a family trait to the current day. Consider it a test. House Hexos serves as a bridge between Fargrave's mortals and Daedra. If you can't keep a minor secret, then we can't recommend you to other organizations. It's a little out of line, but that's life on the edge of all reality.
Going once, going twice, sold to the scoffin' in the middle. Do be careful with that item, sir. Now, help yourselves to some refreshment while my associates collect the next items up for auction. Always a pleasure to see a fellow mortal. These Daedric types, well, they're all a bit creepy, eh? But look at me, babbling away. Sorry, quick tongue, you know, comes with the profession. Here for the auction? Nothing but first-rate goods here. The ebony blade. Well, that's, you know, not really my area of expertise. Daedric artifacts, I mean. Then again, there is a small errand that needs doing, a personal matter, you see. You help me with that, and my memory might improve. Oh, it's nothing really. I need a crate picked up from the east side of town near the, the Outlaws' Refuge. I'd go get it myself, but some scallywags might recognize me. The sort of scallywags that like breaking auctioneers' kneecaps. You're still here? Look, from one mortal to another, I'd love to help, but my hands are tied. No! I'm just a lowly auctioneer. Sure, I hear things from time to time, but Daedric artifacts? That's the sort of thing we're all better off forgetting. Then again, there is that errand I mentioned. That might rattle something loose. I just need a crate picked up from the east side of town, near the Outlaws' Refuge. I'd go get it myself, but I owe some of those rascals quite a bit of gold. If I can't pay in coin, they'll take payment in broken bones. You see?
Are you an adventurer? In my experience, all adventurers could do with a larger pack. Loot and trinkets take up so much more space than you expect.
You're still here? Look, from one mortal to another, I'd love to help, but my hands are tied. No! I'm just a lowly auctioneer. Sure, I hear things from time to time, but Daedric artifacts? That's the sort of thing we're all better off forgetting. Then again, there is that errand I mentioned. That might rattle something loose. So you have. And what do you know? A memory popped into my head just then. A couple of Scoffin picked up the sword not long ago. Said they had to stow it away in the Hexos Gallery vault, in the Shambles. Just don't tell anyone I told you, all right?
So, it's carved in the shape of a sundial. Clever.
That is so, yes. When a spell takes shape, the Magnus sigil will glow. Simple.
Ah, timely as ever. What did you discover in the auction house? The Telvanni. That it's as I suspected, foiled by my own renown. Again. Intolerable. Well, there's no use dwelling on it. Did you find anything else? A key? Yes, that might come in handy. Can I just say how refreshing it is to find competent allies? A rare luxury, I assure you. Make your way to the Shambles. There's a Hexos storehouse near the center of the district. Check there first. You needn't worry. I'll be along soon enough. A fair warning, the Shambles is a lawless slum, full of far worse things than mortal indigence. Prepare yourself. The size, mostly. Those Hexos Noirs are quite clever, by Imperial standards. They operate a number of warehouses in Fargrave, but only one of them is large enough to contain a vault of any appreciable size. I suppose we'll find out soon enough. surprise. Do you have that key near to hand? Have a go at this. Well done. Now, let's see what they're hiding in there. There, the ebony blade. Claim it. The fabled sword of leeches here within my grasp. I have my doubts. May I? Eerily sharp, masterfully etched, and completely fake. This is a forgery. A brilliant one, I admit, but a forgery nonetheless. While I respect this forger's skill, I cannot abide a glut of fraudulent artifacts taking up my time and attention. No, they're traders, not artisans. This is Daedric precision. I know a Spiderkith, Scrix. He's a small-time scoundrel who deals in stolen goods, counterfeit soul gems, that sort of thing. He might be able to point us in the right direction. He frequents the Wishbone, a tavern in the Shamble's northern alleys. Let's pay him a visit, shall we? He's a Spiderkith, which is to say he's a treacherous, deceitful sneak thief. Our personal history is contentious, full of double dealings and trickery. I've killed him more than once, but you know how these Daedra are. It rarely takes. For the usual reasons, simple greed and fear of punishment. Daedra may not die, but the process of reconstitution is not pleasant. I can also make business difficult for him. For Scrix, losing wealth may cause more pain than losing his life.
Rest now.
Got nothing to say to you, Fear.
Settle yourself, Scrix, and listen. I can make business very difficult for you if you don't.
You with the Ash Elf, Fear? Got no business with you. Got no business with him. Better scuttle off, stomp you otherwise, and peel you off the boot flat. Ebony Blade, huh? That's the mistress's hot cutter. Somebody hammering out fakes? Clever. Got no idea where it comes from. Don't care. Tell Fear he can find it himself. Threats, huh? With Fear, it's always threats. Scritty elf with big head and tiny wits. Fine. We'll cast a signal line for it. Finding ritual. Can find anything with it. After this, Fear pays you and you scuttle off. Final offer. Nothing. Secrets of the skein. You find out the secret, you die. Quiet. Alone in the dark. Still want to know how it works? Then you're stupid. Enough talk. Put the sword on the table.
A seeking spider, eh? I do hope it works. For your sake. In fact, why don't you accompany my partner here? As a gesture of goodwill.
Lady's fangs. Did what you wanted. Cast the spell. Zafa. Let's go.
A ghostly spider, hmm? A bit garish for my taste, but then we can't all be squinty, desiccated skein spawn, can we? Before you go, I have something to give you. A bauble I purchased before we set out for the shambles. Keep it near to hand. It may prove useful. I pray you never have need to find out. Suffice it to say that it's insurance. Enough talk. Follow that spider. And don't take your eyes off Strix. Not even for a moment. Surely you don't require a chaperone. Strix, while clever, is hardly a match for a warrior of your skill. No, I'm quite certain you'll be fine without me. I have other lines of inquiry to explore. I won't be far behind, I assure you.
Just follow the spider-man. Simple. Keep going. Nearly there.
Ah, the sights here. Words fail me.
Torches in skein row. Liable to set webs on fire. Clumsy. Stupid. This is the place. Answers behind that door. In you go. Artificer's table. See? Another ebony blade's right there. Have a look. Flies in the web. But their fear, you're never
Potent magic, Strix, but all too predictable. Quickly, assistant, use the sundial.
Light? What are you? Torches in skein row. I will set webs on fire. Clumsy. Stupid.
Use a potion! Sos vifrai traži sapora.
This is the place. Answers behind that door. In you go. Artificer's table. See? Another ebony blade's right there. Have a look. Lies in the wind. Open like a lair of fear. You're never...
Webbs, use that torch, quickly!
No! Not fire! No! Put it out! Stop! Stop it!
Well done. A respectable attempt, Scrix. But it will cost you. Seems we're finished here. Meet me outside. And that appears to be that. Exemplary work. From the looks of things, our web-brained friend here planned to sell several more forgeries. Now that we've apprehended him, the flow of counterfeit artifacts should grind to a halt. Now, I provide you with the reward I promised, and we part company. Scrix and I have a great deal to discuss. I'd invite you to join us, but let's be honest. Carrying on a conversation with him is exhausting. You have my thanks, Sarah. Farewell. You know, despite his simple nature, Scrix displays a rare gift for counterfeiting. I can think of countless applications for such a skill. Alas. For all their power, the Daedra lack one vital trait. Imagination. No, of course not. He'll squirm and curse and prevaricate until I banish him. But even a lying tongue tells some truths. He will give something away. He always does. I only wish the process wasn't so tiresome.
Peace, for now. Radin, Tabi.
Chaos he spawns upon us with glee. Spare from
So you really came all this way to stop the waking flame from destroying Fargrave?
Something like that.
Some of us are trying to listen.
judge them too harshly, it's all in good fun. Unchanging and sleepless and up to no good. Our immortal friends are just misunderstood. Drink to Dremora. We don't know if they're fauna or flora. Drink to Dremora. Their presence is hard to ignore. Drink to Dremora.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. Finding the leader of the cult, watching as she almost completed a deadly ritual, and then allowing her to escape. I never fail like that. And all we have for our trouble is a coded message. Maybe? This is Fargrave, after all. The city connects to everywhere. Madam Wim must know someone here who can help us with that. In the meantime, we made a deal, and I always honor my commitments. Here, you earned this, my friend.
I am blessed to see such growth in you, Tamid.
We have unfinished business, mortal. The encoded message you recovered from the bathhouse. That may be the key to determining the Waking Flame's next move and revealing the secrets I'm searching for. We must find someone who can decipher it. The masked mortal has the right idea. Fargrave sits on the threshold to everywhere. If there exists a being who can decipher this code, we will find them here. I'd prefer it if we could find someone other than Madam Wim to deal with, however. I have heard of the infamous Mazken who calls herself Madam Wim. I find her practice of turning gossip into profit to be loathsome. But even a filthy Daedrat has its uses, I suppose. Take the note to her and pay whatever it costs for a translation. Go to Madam Wim's establishment, the House of Wims. Show her the encoded note and tell her we need it deciphered. I will meet you there. To make sure we have her undivided attention, and that she understands this is more than a mortal's request. We know of each other. Perhaps our paths have crossed over the millennia, perhaps not. Wim has changed her name and appearance multiple times, or so I've heard. I have no doubt she will do so again, when Fargrave no longer amuses her. Sister Seldina possesses the knowledge to create a device called a cataclyst. With it, she can transform any Daedra into a powerful incarnate, a living disaster. She even tried to use the machine on me. These incarnates must be part of her plan. We learned that Sister Seldina tried to use the votive runes to steal power from the mortals. Power she hoped would destroy the Daedra and allow her to conquer Fargrave. We stopped that plot. But this realm's many portals are too enticing to ignore. They are persistent, if nothing else, these Daganists. If they truly want to unleash their incarnates on Nirn, using Fargrave's portals makes the most sense. The hope, slender though it may be, is that the encoded note will tell us more.
I'll meet you at the House of Wims. I can help with the negotiations.
Why, Lyrinth, my dear, it would be an honor to assist you in any way I can.
An honor, yes. Mortals, show Wim the note.
Oh, darling, how good of you to once again grace my fine establishment. And I see that my information proved useful. You found Lyrinth. Another customer, satisfied and content. Now, what can Madam Wim do for you this time? While I have many, many talents, deciphering written codes concocted by fanatical mortals is not among them. Are you sure I can't interest you in something a little more luscious? No? Pity. Very well. I may know someone who can help you. You wound me. I thought we were becoming friends. Talk to Gazmod the Collector. His villa on the west side of town contains quite the accumulation of Daegonic paraphernalia. Something in his collection should help, provided you can catch his eye. You owe absolutely nothing, my darling. Lyrinth agreed to cover your cost for this bit of inside information. Isn't she a dear? Now, do tell Gazmod that we miss them here at the House of Whims. The place hasn't been the same without them. Oh, don't concern yourself with that, dearest one. I never ask for more than a client can afford. There's no profit in that. When you have time, come back and let Madam Wim show you some of the wares that have made her the talk of Oblivion.
Go downstairs and rouse the anchorite. We'll want her with us when we talk to this collector. Meanwhile, I need to conclude our business here.
Conclude our business? How I love the sound of that. It makes me all twitter.
I'm not here to play games, Wim.
But games are some of my favorite activities, dear Lyrinth. Come, let me show you what the House of Whims has to offer.
Was Madam Wim helpful? Grab a drink and tell me all about it. I know I said I was going to help with the negotiations, but look, I don't want to talk about it. Some things are private, personal. You can't just walk up and demand I tell you my deepest, darkest secrets. Sorry. I agreed to talk about my name, my mask, everything. After you proved yourself, and you've certainly done that. When we first met, you asked about my name. Madam Wim gave it to me. I just arrived in Fargrave, and everything before that exact moment was gone. All I had was this mask. I didn't know who I was or where I came from. Still don't. Just one of Madam Wim's little jokes. Means I'm a recluse, a hermit, living a life of seclusion behind a mask I can't remove. Sometimes it feels like memories are stirring deep inside my mind. When that happens, I need a distraction. Because it feels like there's a war raging inside my skull, a war I can't win. Better to drink or whatever. Push them back down to stop the pain behind my eyes. That's my story. At least as much as I know. Now, tell me what Madam Wim said. I've heard of the Collector. Has a villa on the west side of the city. Never met them personally, but I assume they're some sort of Daedra. Makes sense considering their influence and where they live. I'll meet you there. I'll finish this and meet you at the Collector's villa. It's on the west side, in a neighborhood that's strictly Daedric. So be careful, and watch your step until I get there. Where else was I to go? I assumed I awoke in Fargrave for a reason. I stayed to find that reason. and to see if whoever left me here would one day return. Regardless, the city and its people quickly captured my heart, especially the mortals. Another label assigned by Madam Whim. Stay in her orbit long enough and you'll collect a dozen appellations. I can't stand to see anyone go hungry or be taken advantage of. I try to help and don't ask anything in return. Whim sees that as a weakness. Bits and pieces, but when the memories stir, the pain kicks in. If I try to focus on them, actually make sense of them, the mask burns. It hurts me, like it doesn't want me to remember. Someday, I'll look into those blank spaces, but not today.
Time to go, little mortals.
To the Collector's Villa, as soon as I finish my drink.
Go. We will catch up. I want to hear more about the Anchorite's missing memories.